I highlighted the whole
All right, Eddie, do you highlight
book.
anything?
Dude, I can't even find my book.
He's been
CEO
listening
kind of
to
still
it.
looks like one of those.
I know that's what when they said like that we lost like our fur, I was like, wait a second.
Not all of
Well,
us.
Eddie, you haven't
So-
fried your brain in a while, so
Are neither peaceful nor liberal. For the market needs a powerful state to inaugurate and defend property rights.
bam, right there.
I think it was part of like how we do with animals and like deer when it gets overpopulated. It was population control.
Yeah, we're definitely not getting views on this one.
Welcome to my evolution. Leveling up, leveling up. Welcome to my evolution. Leveling up, leveling up.
And here we go, boys. Mike, you are a dick. That's all I gotta say, dude. This was a tough book, bro. Welcome to the dumbest guy in the room. My name's Bill McDale. I'm your host. Today we're doing something a little different here. We're gonna do a book review. We're gonna kind of do a couple chapters on the book. For some reason I let Mike not pick this book. It's a brief history of the future, and it's definitely the past in as brief as possibly that they could put it, because it's like 100 pages and it goes from the beginning of human existence to today almost. So I want to start with the author. Is there any reason why you picked this author?
Yeah, so this guy Jacques Attali, he's a very accomplished guy. On the back, he kind of goes into who he is, but says he's an economist, historian, cultural critic, and corporate strategist. He's a French presidential advisor for finance and economics for many years. He co-founded and served as the first president of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. He's also a big Bilderberger attendee, which is kind of like a group of the most powerful men and women in the entire world meet behind closed doors, presidents, people of like presidents of large corporations like Jeff Bezos, people like that meet behind closed doors, no media, no attention, and they plot the future. And we have no idea what they're doing. But this guy kind of lets us in on what he thinks we should be doing. And the reason I picked the book, the beginning of it obviously is a history lesson, and it's not necessarily, 100% history. A lot of this stuff is still kind of being fought over, but it's his version of history. And he's building it up to then show where he believes the world is going. And then he's going to plug in his ideas of what need to be changed in order to prevent like catastrophe and all this other terrible things. So yeah, the first two chapters suck. It's like being in high school history class, which all three of us probably hated.
It was hard, dude.
Yeah, you got to get through. You got to try and pick some things out, because he's gonna use it as justification for why he believes globalization is the right thing, why he believes a small group of smart men should be making the choices for the entire world instead of individual nations, and even smaller than that. He thinks that like say like the UN and a group of powerful people should meet and decide a global constitution, and should make the whole world on the same page, whether that's finance related or even day-to-day stuff like going to the grocery store and what's available, and how we're allowed to travel and where to, and things like that. So yeah, the first couple chapters obviously suck, but there's a reason I picked the book, and we'll get to that.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, Ed, but I didn't think it sucked. I thought it was difficult. it was just like a
It's like reading a history book. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
it's so many like facts and dates, times, countries, names, like crammed into 2 chapters to where like your head just starts spinning. But
Yeah, dude.
it's literally from the beginning of like human existence to like the 1800s.
Yeah.
You're just like, what the fuck is going on?
You're
I
like,
have
fuck
highlighted
Mike
everywhere,
Janelle.
dude.
I know. I texted Bill like, who the fuck picked this book?
Dude, it was like I was highlighting everything. It was like I was
Yeah.
talking to my wife about it, dude. I'm like, when I was reading it, it felt like I was in class, and they're like, highlight the important parts, and I'm like, I feel like everything in here is in every sentence. It was
Well,
just
Yeah,
like
it was just fact after fact after
fact in 100 pages, dude. It just like kind of blew my mind, to be honest. Like everything that has where we came from, like things I never thought about before, especially when he starts talking about me and Eddie were talking about this a little bit, like cannibalism, and how they realize that like the sexual act is that's how babies are actually made. Like I never really went back that far. Like at one point people were just having sex and like had no idea that the consequence was a baby.
Yeah.
So like people didn't really have fathers. It just kind of goes to show like how much kind of incest really was going on, dude, because you would have no clue. Like you didn't know that it was your daughter. You know what I mean?
Same
Like,
with
it's
like
so
the
weird.
burial, like the
Yeah.
burial shit.
It's just dead people laying around.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I
Yeah.
couldn't even imagine because they didn't start burying them until like later on. It's like there's just dead people that's like on the ground just laying there.
Yeah, they just left it alone.
And to give you a kind of a different perspective, I think he's bringing up this stuff to take the spirituality out of man and say,
Right.
like, we're no better than animals, so we need to be directed like animals into our future.
Yeah,
And if we don't, then we're gonna cause a catastrophe, because basically we're sheep that need to be directed. And if
Yeah.
smart people don't team together, we're gonna doom the entire planet.
yeah,
And I think that's why he works in, well, in the past, there's dead bodies on the ground where
right.
we're killing other tribes, and we're having sex with people in our family, and we have to send our women away because we can wind up incestual in our tribes. Excuse me. But I think he builds this into his thesis because he wants to show, like, hey, we're no better than animals. We need
Right.
smart people to step in. We need technology to step in to manage us, or the whole world's going to end up like Mars, or it's going to be a desolate wasteland if these smart people don't do something about it. So that was what I'm thinking he's throwing all this bullshit in the first 2 paragraphs for,
Yeah.
is to build that up.
I mean, it was like interesting. I mean, like the part where it's like pretty much like every type of mammal, like primate, like mammal, just disappeared at one point except Homo sapien. Everything else just fucking disappeared.
I
It's like
forgot that.
it's fucking crazy. It's like everything else just fell off, and then they were the only ones that like somehow survived.
Oh, you mean hominid, right? Other types of man.
Types of
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I thought that was weird. Like I didn't realize that there was that many.
Well,
Like that we actually kind of named the different type of man.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I mean,
Like, I just-
Bill kind of still looks like one of those.
I know. That's what when they said like that we lost like our fur, I was like, wait a second.
Not all of us.
Some of them.
Some of us still got it. You poor guys, dude. I'm way more Neanderthal than you. It keeps me warm, dude. It keeps me warm.
Yeah.
But what do you also do? Do you know who like titled this book? So like A Brief History of the Future, I was definitely assume obviously it's the author, but the fact that he says a brave and controversial look at the 21st century, like, is that coming from him, Attali?
Yeah.
Like,
So this
It's
is
very
this is-
self-centered, dude.
Yeah,
this
that
guy,
caught me.
you look up some YouTube videos of this guy. He's a total egomaniac.
No, I
He's,
did. I watched him and I was like, dude, why did Mike pick this? Because it kind of was like, damn, like that's pretty cool because it is the opposite.
This is how the rich aristocrats look at us, that
Yes.
we're below them and we need to be managed. Whereas they're the ones that got us hooked on this system. They exploit consumerism, and they get us buying things like it's Christmas time right now. You got to buy everybody gifts and stuff.
We are the
created-
product.
No,
They created this system, and now they're telling us it's our fault for the environment going to shit when their big companies are making all the money. So
it's like it's really crazy because like I was talking to my one buddy he's doing really well in life, and he hangs out with a lot of very wealthy people, and he was telling me like they talk about us, they call us civilians, like
Yeah.
the very rich people, they just call us civilians, they don't
Or-
call us
useless eaters is a term that they like to
Crazy.
call us. Useless eaters. We use up all the resources, and they believe they're better than us. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way it is.
Are they?
I feel like a lot of those people just have
I think
like
that-
Mike said about this guy was like their egos are just so
Oh, yeah.
massive
Mm-hmm.
that they just look down upon literally someone who's exactly like them, might not be financially like them, but other than that, there is zero difference.
Especially from his perspective, like he is saying himself that his bloodlines evolved from an ape like
Right.
anyone else. So I mean, even further. Now I don't even really think he believes that, but I mean, Bill knows I'm a huge conspiracy theorist, but
Yeah.
we don't have to go into that yet. But I think a lot of this is bullshit, and he's trying to get people on board with this crazy ideas that he's going to build up to.
It's like Bill's Facebook post.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, dude, I'm just gonna call him out right now. Some of my Facebook posts are Mike, but Mike's like, you know what, dude? I'm just gonna send this to Bill and let him look
I
like
wound
this
up
psychopath.
I wound up deleting my Facebook because
No, no, no.
people
That's
are
healthy,
just-
dude.
People are getting nuts. I'm sick of getting angry over people posting stupid shit, so I just
Yep.
deleted it.
Yeah.
And now I'll just text Bill an
Yeah.
article and he's posting it.
I do sometimes. I still post it. See, dude, I think the key to Facebook is not to worry. Like I don't look at the reactions. I don't scroll through it. I post and then that's it. You know, like whoever
Yeah.
sees it. I don't care. Like reactions, I won't react back. I don't comment on things. I don't, especially like trending things.
No, that's the worst thing. Is
I'm
trending
not
things,
going to do
'cause
it because it's not
there's a
real.
reason.
First off,
Yeah,
there's a reason it's trending.
Shit goes viral, and
Mhm.
it's mindless bullshit,
I don't think most of it's real. I think most of it's people arguing with robots.
without a doubt.
You know, like I do, especially
So-
Twitter, bro. I got rid of my Twitter.
I've never had one, but so I saw an
don't do
article
it.
that the CIA employs 60,000 contractors to just be on the internet in chat rooms and bots and stirring the pot and putting out misinformation and all kinds of stuff. 60,000 people. And then there's bots that have algorithm, it's AI that who knows what they're programmed to say. So it's like you could be fighting with either an agent or a bot, and
Yeah.
it's just not worth it.
Yeah, dude, it's not real. It's
There's
not a
like-
real place.
There's like
even this.
websites that you could buy bots, like people
Yeah.
that like do like Twitch streaming and stuff like that to get your viewership up. You
Right.
could literally go to a website and then like they'll just flood your viewership and it'll say like, oh, this dude's got 2,000 fucking viewers. When
Where
in
do I do
reality,
that at?
only like 60
Yeah,
of them
Bill,
are actual
Look it
people.
up, Bill.
Where do I do that at?
I'll let you know. I'll text you.
I
Well-
think they have me flagged, dude. Once they see Mike's eyeballs, once Mike's
they got
eyeballs pop up, they're like, nope,
They
can't
got
share.
my biometrics down, so they scan my face. I'm like, yep, no videos, no views for this guy.
This dude can't be seen. I'm not lying, dude, because sometimes on like Facebook, you can I can promote it. So like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can pay I for every recording I did, I would pay like $10 and it's like $1 a day for 10 days, and it's like I get some views and people that interact with that. I wasn't allowed to do ours. It just said it said it's not allowed to be done because I named it COVID.
Don't say it. You're gonna steal our views
Ah,
for this
shit.
video.
I just fucked it up.
I got
gotta
a
bleep it out.
I got a whiteboard back here. I think next one we'll have a list of code words and then what we're saying instead. So like that word could be called like something crazy, and then
Yeah, that word's
people
gotta
who
go,
are
dude. I just said
watching
it
can
fucked
see it.
up. But I think it was because it was in the name too. Like I named it.
yeah, that definitely is not gonna help.
Yeah, it didn't help, dude. But you know, you live and you learn.
But and that's another reason I picked this book. That word Bill just said, I totally believe that there's no coincidence. I think that's a part of their agenda, and they're using that to further what they want that we're going to read about in this book. And
Yeah.
basically, it's just entire control from top down. They want to control and know what everybody's doing, and they're going to tie cryptocurrency into it and know every dollar you're spending and pretend that it's hidden. But really, how do we know that? I
Right.
don't buy that shit for a second.
No, I honestly think it was part of like how we do with animals and like deer when it gets overpopulated. It was population control.
Nuts.
Yeah, we're definitely not getting views on this one.
I'm not worried about views, man. I really am not. Like, I was talking, it sucks because I like really enjoy talking to Hellwig a lot. And he doesn't want to be recorded. So
Yeah, I understand that.
which I completely understand. I told him that. But like he's reading the book along with us and he'll watch this and go along with it. And that's why I wanted to start doing them live. But I'm like, dude, it's not really about like the views and stuff. I just want the reason I want to do the book thing too and post it is so people can they can go along with us too if they can go along with me if they're not going to want to be recorded. That's one. Two is they can see how perspectives of things can be different with the same words.
Yeah.
Right. Like all of us, like this is like history. So it's not really a very thought provoking couple chapters here. It's more like very statistics, facts, and, and it's kind of difficult to even kind of go back and check on it because it would take me years and years and years to even like verify that this stuff he's saying is even legitimate. Like,
right. And it's not a big part of the story yet. Like he's just laying it out as like a foundation. So it's
exactly
not even worth fighting over. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So like to post it and have people see like not even just my like anybody that comes on here and wants to do this, it's to see my thought process and see how I come up with the things I say. I just don't say them to, for the hell of it. And I don't say it to hold a conviction with it. It's like I research things, I think about it, I discuss it, and then, I can talk about it. And then you're more than welcome to talk to me about that. And I have an open mind. So like, I'll talk to anybody about anything, but nobody ever wants to talk, Nobody does, dude. Everyone thinks they want to talk until it's time to talk. Yeah, because they don't really have their own thought process. They don't know why they believe in what they believe in.
That's the biggest problem right now. Nobody researches anything. Nobody reads books. Everybody watches their fucking football and hockey and bullshit, and then they don't have time to do anything real. Like they don't know more knowledge. Like school ended, so they're not reading.
Yeah,
I think it's very good what you're doing. I mean, especially get your friends involved, get them broadening their minds, thinking a little bit, seeing that like your crazy ideas are coming from somewhere. You don't have to agree with what you're thinking, but your crazy ideas aren't just in dreams that are popping out in Facebook posts. But
I've thought about them.
Yeah.
I've really thought about them. I've researched it. I've done things to come up with what I believe, and I want to talk. I think the only other thing I'm not doing is literally having full conversations. Right? Like I would personally, and now I live in South Carolina, so it's really difficult, but I really prefer in person having a conversation and just having a conversation. Like I like having a starting point, but then I like to let it go. Like just let it go. Like both of you were on, and I had a great time with both of those conversations. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and everybody was themselves, and it was a good time.
And I think people like to fight. So if you don't share
they do, dude.
If you don't share their viewpoint, it's like
but they won't come on either.
Yeah.
They won't even do it. Like they won't even attempt to come on and talk. I think
the only reason people do that though is because they don't know like about anything. So like their first reaction is, oh, let me just freaking lash out and like try and bombard this dude with like insults.
Exactly.
Because I don't know anything about the topic that he's talking about.
Exactly. So they resort to being hateful and throwing out insults, but they don't have any facts, so they have to use that.
Yeah, fuck you, love me. Fuck you, love me. If you don't love me, then fuck you. That's really what it is, and it's kind of annoying, but So when I was reading this chapter, though, I was like, it kind of made me think in the big picture here. And it's like, I know what he's trying to do. Like, it's obvious, a brief history of the future. And when you just read the beginning, he explains what he's trying to do by predicting the future by looking at the past.
Right.
And it made me question and say, did he look at the past and then make a prediction? Or did he make a prediction and then go through history and be like, how do I justify everything that I'm saying is going to happen?
Yeah, a very smart.
That's
point.
kind of what it looks like, right? Like it kind of looks like it's measured in a way that's like, or structured in a way where he picked and pulled a lot of things from history and said, this stuff helps my prediction. I can use it.
For sure.
So it's like almost like he wrote and I don't know yet, because I didn't go past where, we were going to talk about, because I didn't want to get too far ahead.
Right.
Which allowed me to spend a little bit more time going through the chapter again, which I usually don't do with books.
That and you need time because your brain is so fried.
Yeah, dude, it was fried,
You
bro.
need time to process those fucking first 2 chapters.
Well, Eddie, you haven't
so-
fried your brain in a while, so
That's what I'm saying. That's all.
When's
Like,
when's the last time you fried your brain, dude? How many years has it been?
7 and some change.
Yeah, dude, we're trying to fix that. We'll fix it with knowledge instead of smoke.
there you go.
Kristen don't
Right.
believe me that you used to smoke that much, dude.
Oh my god.
I told her you're like the white Snoop Dogg. She's like, no way. I was like, you should have seen him when he smoked. The dude
Dude, I
was
remember. I'll never forget the one time. It was like me and Baldwin, and we were smoked like before and after school, like every single day for a week straight, Monday through Friday, and we counted out the roaches, and it was 76 roaches
Oh my
in
god.
in 5 days. And I remember we pulled up. We were on Academy Road. We pulled up to Gennell on the side of the road and dumped them all into his hand. And he was the happiest fucking kid I've ever seen in his life, man. It was funny as shit.
76, bro. You wouldn't
I
have done that at
remember
the
one
end of your
time-
stint.
I remember one time somebody asked you like why you smoke so much or something, and like aren't you worried about where it's going? And you're like, man, I don't care. My lungs look like shriveled up black bananas. I was like, man, that's pretty descriptive. That's pretty good.
Right?
How'd you know that, dude?
You know, it's a good idea, you know.
So here, I got a question for you hockey guys real quick, since I know
Yeah.
he's going to watch it. Corey, who is better at hockey, Mike Janad or Corey? Come on, Ed. Who is better? Mike's on the camera.
Probably
Corey's
Mike. Corey had his moments, but probably Mike. Like, as if you're talking like overall, like offense, defense, like really seeing the play and like knowing like what to do, fundamentals, probably Mike. Corey was decent, like he was good, but
I think he's just saying that because you're on here, dude.
no, I'm serious. Like if there was a one-on-one, I would say regardless. If it was like a one-on-one, I'm pretty sure Mike would beat him.
And they
How do you
did
feel,
call
Mike?
him Scory. They called him Scory Corey.
I still call him Scory, dude. I still call him Scory.
Yeah, but if you look at the statistics, he didn't score that much.
I think they
Yeah,
called him
dude.
Scory because he was so close to scoring. Like he hit the post a lot.
Like he did hit the post a lot.
Yeah.
I remember that shit. He did hit the post a lot.
Poor guy. Poor guy.
I think it's unanimous that everybody in the entire world likes Corey better than me, though. So that's
Who's everybody in the entire world, dude? Who do you,
anyone that knows us both, maybe.
I don't think so, dude. These are equal. Corey's not as big of a conspiracy theorist, but he's working towards that.
I mean, this is
He's,
my saying. dude.
he's getting there, dude.
My saying is nobody is a conspiracy theorist until they start looking into it, and then everybody is, because the knowledge is there, and once you read it, you can't go back. I mean,
Right.
I know, dude. It's tough. It
it's
kind of
facts.
sucks sometimes, to be honest.
like
I
all
think
you
about it
gotta
all the
do is look up in the sky during the day, and you could see them spraying over top of us, and nobody even notices that. Like,
No,
what do you
I
think they're
know.
doing?
I noticed it, dude. But my
Not
wife
even
yells
like
at me.
nobody even knows. Like, look up. You think those lines are natural? Like that shit, they're spraying shit in the sky right now.
Yeah, that just happens with some of the planes. Just
I saw-
some of them.
Yeah, I saw a cartoon, and it had fucking chemtrails in the cartoon that they drew in, so the kids can think it's normal. Like,
Now,
Jesus.
my son points them out, dude, because I point them out so often. My 6-year-old, It's like, Dad, look, it's one of them things again. I'm like, don't be coming to school and talking about that, please.
Yep.
We can just talk about that.
My dad works in like an herbal store. They sell all kinds of stuff, whether it's for like helping your plants or like herbs for your body to make like wellness herbs. And not Eddie's herbs, but he got a call from somebody from California saying how like they're having real problems with the almond trees, and the state's trying to blame it on the water and the climate. And they paid like an independent researcher to come out and do a study, and they found all these heavy metals in the soil, and it's killing their almond trees, and it's from the shit that they're spraying in the skies. And she called her local representative, all these people, and they didn't care.
Nah, dude, they don't. That's the other thing is like, how deep does it get? You know, like I always question that. Like, how deep does it go? Like, who actually knows? You know what I mean? Like, where does it?
Once you get over local government, like there's some form of corruption. Like once you're over like the little like mayors of towns and stuff, once you get above that, like you're in.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that the people below them are even more corrupt without realizing it, because they want to be there.
Well,
so
that's true. They'll
don't do
know
things.
Yeah, I agree. They don't know what it takes to get up there. They don't know what level scumbag those people are. So they're willing to do shit to get there, and then there's no going back.
Right. You just keep doing it, and then you're kind of locked in because they got you, because you did something that's like, you know, look, we're gonna expose this, and then they got you.
I said it the other day. I'm like, they're no better than the cartel, the mob.
No,
like
it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
They're the same.
Mm-hmm. They're no different, dude. They're the same.
They're just in a suit.
This book
That's it,
talks about the three pillars of what drives society. It's basically the free marketplace, the mercantile,
Yes.
Religion,
Yep.
and then the army or whatever armed
Like the
forces,
military.
Your
Yeah.
soldiers.
military. Each one of those places, so there's a big obelisk in Washington D.C. There's a big one in London, and there's a big one at the Vatican. All pretty much showing like they're the three pillars of society. They're interwoven, and they run the world basically.
Right.
DC is the armed forces part of it. London's the banking and the mercantile version, and then the Vatican.
Yeah. That's the thing that I was really looking at, dude. And I noticed that oh shit, I gotta plug this in. I seen that you know, when religion kind of came around, and then they started talking about the language again, which I'm really into that. I'm like really into how language was like created, and how the Christians like created our language. And it's weird how like I guess like even our grandparents, or the last 100 and something, how many years has language hasn't changed like it was in the past.
No,
you know what I mean? Like what?
I mean, our
language,
is
money,
simpler.
like there has to be a change coming in language, money, and things like that, which we have not seen. Now money though, this is the first time we're seeing a shift in what we're valuing as like currency.
That's why I thought it was like interesting when like he was at one point he was talking about the this city in the Mediterranean, and they was like, they speak Arabic, they think Greek, they pray in Latin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the
Yeah.
like all these like different languages all at the same time. Like it was interesting.
Yep.
Just confuses you.
What are you doing down there, Bill?
I gotta plug my
Are you wearing a bathing suit?
These are my favorite pants, dude.
I gotta plug my computer in. Keep
We'll
going.
wait for you.
But no, it's definitely interesting. I mean, I've always really enjoyed like history and stuff. So like I'm enjoying these two chapters.
Hey, no, it did. It brought a lot of
I'm
things
excited
back.
to see like where he goes with it. Like I am excited for that. I love hearing about people's thoughts and ideas on like where they think we're going, and like how the future is going to be. So like I'm excited to continue.
There we go.
I'll give you guys some homework. You got before we come back.
Whoa.
Not hard. It's not hard.
You
It's
gave
not
me
hard.
homework, dude.
You got to look up the Bilderberg Group. You got to look up the Georgia Guidestones and what's on them. I told Bill to look this up.
Yeah.
Well, after this, text it in the group chat.
Yeah, and anybody out there that might be
Does
watching,
he talk about that in here?
Well, he talks about establishing a new constitution for the world, but on the Georgia Guidestones, that's basically what it is. It's like a new 10 Commandments,
Okay.
and it's in Georgia. It's in Elberton, Georgia, and it was put up like I want to say 30 years ago, maybe a little bit more. And
Why do you? Why? You know, like why?
Maybe for this point in time right now. I mean, it's
Why
it up
on
and then we'll
rocks?
talk about it.
Why on rocks?
Oh,
Just
it's on-
because it lasts?
It's on granite slabs. They're massive. Like if some doomsday event happened, they would still be here massive.
So that's why.
Yes. Carved
like-
into them in like 12 different languages too. So like if whoever the survivors are
Oh,
can
that's
still
interesting.
they could still read them. Whoever
Right.
yeah.
That's so strange, dude. Maybe I'll drive down here
Yeah.
right now.
I-
I'm gonna take a trip, dude. I'll call you when I get there. I'll do it.
Yeah.
It'll be the fourth guy. It'll be just the Stones.
yeah. Like, they're pretty famous.
I've heard of them. But I never I just heard it, and then that was like the extent of what I did with them.
When you read what's on them, and then we read this book, and then we look at what's going on in the world, it's like there has to be something changing society right now to that is more than just a I don't want to use the
Human?
words that no, like a sickness or a plague that's coming up. Like there's no way that's just a naturally occurring event. I mean,
No.
that shit is planned.
Yeah, I agree, dude. And if you really kind of get into
I mean, look at Australia.
I know, bro.
Bro.
I sent that
That's
to the video you sent me to Eddie, dude. Like it's not and people like I shared that on Facebook, obviously. I couldn't not do that.
Oh
But-
shit.
Or like it's like
Well, everybody out there, that was me. I found that.
I couldn't
It's
not
like
do
turning
that.
into like a North Korea type shit. Like where it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, dude, it
or
is.
like literally like almost a dictatorship, and like it looks like where their quarantine zone is. It looks like a concentration camp. Like
That's
it's just
exactly
like,
what it is.
no, it's
But that's-
crazy.
And that's also the reason why I love language, because it's like if people went around saying, "Well, we're going to open this concentration camp for people,"
Yeah.
they'll
It's
be
a
like,
quarantine
"Wait,
camp."
what? No, it's
Yeah.
quarantine now. It's cool. It's okay. It's just a
But, like-
quarantine camp. It's not a concentration camp."
It begs the question though, like
it's huge.
I
yeah,
know.
what would our society act like if that came here? Like, would people still be asleep and be like, "Oh, it's just to keep the sick away from us"? Like,
Unfortunately, I think the majority would. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
and
cool.
if that
to
ever
do.
happens here, like, if you tell me that, you're getting punched in the face because it's
100%.
It's,
I'll pull a gun on
yeah.
Dude, now we're not getting.
you.
I'll pull a gun on you. But it's the truth, dude. I was telling, like, dude, dead serious. Like, I will, when people are like, these are the evil people, or it's always like the right Republicans are like, oh, the left evil, da-da-da, and the left is like, oh, the right is evil, bad. And I'm sitting in there like, I don't give a fuck which one of yous come after me.
All
I'm
you
going to put a bullet in here.
all you motherfuckers are evil. All of you.
Yeah, all-
Yeah.
But the thing is, dude, like if you can't recognize the evil within yourself that you're capable of, you can't see how you can be good. It's like I know for a fact if any of you come here and try to take me or tell me any of that, I will kill you. I know I'm evil. I know that I can do that. If you don't think that you're evil,
You'll just
know?
cry doing it.
you're right, not even that. You'll just think you were a good person that did a bad thing. And it's like, no, you just like murder is evil. Like that's the question I like to ask people. Like, do you think murder is evil? I'm like, yeah, murder is evil. Okay, well, if somebody tried to kill you, would you murder them? Well, that's not murder. No, it's murder. You killed them. You know what I mean? Like you still killed somebody. Is killing somebody evil? Yes. Would you kill them if they tried to kill you? Yes. Okay. You're capable of evil.
I have similar conversations with people that like I'm family with or friends with, and I say like, all right, you couldn't kill someone. You couldn't. What if they were coming after your kids? Like you couldn't kill
Yeah.
someone.
Same thing.
And then it's like a total different perspective.
Oh, well, no,
Yeah.
yeah, you're allowed to do. Well, yeah, exactly.
Like you just took their life. I mean,
You're
a
capable of
deep-
evil.
It's a deep question, and I think the way society has evolved, we think about that a lot more than people in the past, and that's why these assholes get away with what they do. Because first of all, people are afraid to go to jail. People are afraid that if they go stand up for their liberties, that they're going to wind up in jail for the rest of their life. So we just keep taking it and taking it and taking
Yep.
it. And it's how far can we kick it down the road before we're like Australia? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, Australia's a scary place, man. It's always been though, right? Like it's always been a
so
very
it started out as a prison. I don't know if you
that's
know
what
that.
yeah,
but-
they're all
yeah.
criminals or police. Like
Uh,
that's all you got over there, dude. Is like literally the two ultimate
They got Aborigines. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like that place, dude. That's probably the easiest place to get people to do that kind of stuff because it's in their DNA forever.
so you know, it's funny. Back, I want to say 10 years ago, maybe a little more. Well, damn, it's 2020. So maybe like 15 years ago.
It's 2021, dude. About to be
Yeah.
2022.
I'm saying we're in the 2020s is what I was thinking.
You missed the
We-
whole year.
Yeah, they stole that year from me.
He took it.
But they had some mass shooting event, and just one, and they took all of the guns from the people in
Yeah,
Australia.
dude.
So that's why what's happening is happening. Nobody can stand up for themselves.
Nope.
That's crazy.
That's why I think some of these trials are totally for show and to get people saying we need stricter gun laws, we need to take guns away, because that's what they want. And I think that they're cooking this stuff up to get people divided, and eventually they're going to try and take people's guns. And
Oh,
where
they already are, dude. That's the new
where you
agenda.
live, Bill, I mean, there's going to be some people fighting back, but up here,
So many
I mean,
people like own guns.
You got to come down, Mike.
Like I don't think they'll ever be able to do that.
we'll see, bro. That's what they're doing. They're trying.
Dude, I moved down south so we can take first place next time. We came in second the first time. This time we're coming in first.
I would love to live down south, man. I would.
Come down, dude. Come down.
It's not that easy, man.
No, I know it's not that easy, dude, but it's doable. Don't you travel for work?
Yeah, I have the whole East Coast as my territory, so I travel a lot.
All right, dude.
I love the South, man. I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And the people I talk to all different types of people with all different types of belief. And for the most part, any advice you get from people, it's like trust in God. Cool. Trust in God.
Especially
Yeah,
down there.
okay.
The
Yeah,
Bible
dude. Like
Belt.
today I was talking to an old dude and he's like, he moved to God's country.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like-
yeah,
I was like, yeah, I did, man. God's hard to find up north.
yeah.
It gets, he's,
I
it's
don't know, if
just
you
like,
go out to Potter County, there's a giant sign that says God's country.
Yeah, well, that's another. It's hilly and
Yeah,
open and
yeah.
stuff. So
yeah, it's,
But-
but, and it's not even about God. Like it's, to me, it's not about that. It's when somebody says like that to me, it's like, you're allowing me to decide, really, right?
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
so if you're not
Freedom.
a religious
it means
person,
freedom, basically.
that's really what it means, dude. It's like you are allowing me to make that decision. Like you're not telling me how to live my life. You're like trusting God. And then if I don't believe in God, I don't have to sit there and try to argue it. I can just be like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? It's not like that's it.
I mean,
And
it is
I do
interesting, like,
believe in God, but
how the belief in God or like and like having like faith can get people through some like shit, like whether it's literal like homelessness, starvation, people like will literally have nothing, and then like they'll just like they'll give you $1 and they got nothing
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because like, oh, like God's got me.
it's
Like,
hope.
wait, what? Like
It just kind of gives you
Great.
hope for the ultimate fear, right? Like Mike, have you ever read the book the fear of death? What the hell is it called? It's a book that is literally about like how everything a lot of the decisions and choices we make are wrapped around the fact that we're afraid to die.
Well, I think people say that to take away from God because, I'm big on these numbers and whatnot. And it kind of feeds into like, no man can just come up with all these synchronicities. It's like almost So like pre COVID, I was basically an atheist, and all this shit started happening. And I was like, man, this just doesn't make sense. And I started like looking into things, seeing how the powers that be kind of operate in this code, and how these
Told you's in the numbers.
yeah. Well, basically, what I found was there's so many things that align, and when you start looking into language and things, the word is gematria, and it's just there's no way that a man came up with like a pattern for all these words to match up. And Eddie, I don't know if you've heard our calls, but gematria, it's you assign a number to a letter. So A would equal 1 and
Right.
Z would equal 26.
Okay.
And then there's various ciphers.
Yeah.
And so you can go like Z equals 1 and A equals 26 and shit like that.
Right.
But basically, when you look at these codes, and it starts from Hebrew, but like so many words that are related have the same numerical value, and sentences that you put together equal other sentences that mean the same thing. And I'm simplifying it, but like when I started reading these books and putting like things together, and it really kind of makes it almost like there has to be a God for all this shit to be linked. And then
Right.
you see how evil the world is. And I mean, if it's that evil, there has to be some ultimate good eventually. I mean, there's got to be something out there. And if not, then it's like hopeless almost.
And
You tell me about like your recovery. I know Bill kind of touched on it. How did you get into God at all, or?
So for me, it was like I went through like Catholic school like all 12 years. So like I was like
Well,
I'm
yeah, that's
fucking sick of this
different.
shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when like I got into recovery, I used my grandfather as like my higher power. So like when I would pray, like I would talk to him. And then like eventually like so I had like this like I don't know if it was like a spiritual awakening or whatever you want to call it, but I was meditating and I seen my grandfather. Clear as day, like in my fucking parents' house, but like back in the day, like everything was exactly how it was like when I was a child. And I sat in his room, and like neither of us, like our lips never moved, but like we could hear each other. It was like telepathic. Like I can hear him, he can hear me, but like we never spoke. And so like after that, like meditate, like when I got out of that meditation, like then it all the wheels start spinning. You know what I mean? Like, was it him? Was it God in his form? Like knowing that he's okay and that there's something after this, like it like so like that's when like I start to get like in the idea and like the belief of God, I guess, or like something of like that was
Sure.
like greater than us. That's like out there.
Right.
I just call it God because it just makes it easier to like wrap your head around.
Yeah.
And it, like especially when you like talk to other people, like it just makes it easier for them to understand.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know what it was. But like that's kind of like when it all like started, like the belief in something.
And just so Mike's not sitting there like, what's this dude talking about? I had the same exact experience.
You talked
with-
to Eddie's grandfather too?
Well, you know, he was sitting there smoking next to us, but I had the same exact experience with my mom's dad. So on my mom's side, my grandfather, the first time I actually meditated when somebody told me to, and I was sitting in the room, dude, and we played chess, and he was explaining life to me through chess, and there was no movements of the face. Like there was just a kind of almost like, you know how like there was no facial expression. I could feel it. I could hear him, but there was no words or anything. It was like we were communicating without facial expression and words. And I just remember the whole time I was like, we were playing chess. I was playing, but I just kept like, is this real? Like, what is this? Are you really here? And like I just remember me kept saying that as he explained life through chess, dude. It was the most surreal experience. And it was, if you watch me and Eddie's podcast, dude, like that was one of the first times he brought it up, and I was like, dude,
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I would never talk about that. Like I only talked about that with my wife, dude.
I
'Cause I was
watched
like,
I watched like half of your podcast, but
when you get there, dude, it's like if you watch that, like it was surreal, bro. It was unreal. It was,
yeah, that's awesome, man.
but I thought it was crazy when he said he had, and it was like, how the did that happen, right? Like it can't be coincidence. And if you watch a lot of the near death experiences, like when people talk about near death experiences, it's
Sure.
very similar to that,
Yeah.
where they have like somebody saying like, but it's a little different because they're like, it's not your time, you need to whatever, and but it's very similar to where they're like, you can't really experience it, but like it's where it's where I found, and it has not happened again. And I don't know if it happened, 'cause, like I didn't know what was going to happen when I was meditating at that point. I was just meditating. And now it's like, I feel like I meditate and I don't go in with a purpose, but like if I did go in with that purpose, it's definitely not going to happen. But I've never had it happen again. That was it. That
Yeah.
one time. And it's almost like I want it to happen. But then I'm like,
Sure.
I don't want it to happen again. Cause then I'd be like, it's happening. And then, you know what I mean? Like I want to know how to like handle it. So I don't know. It's weird though. But yeah, same exact experience. Does he talk about that in this book?
No. He wants to distance us from spirituality. So
I know. I kind of get that. And he didn't talk much about that.
and it's bullshit because this dude's a Freemason and they don't believe this fucking shit that he's spilling. So that's how I know that he's telling us kind of a foundation to then say, you guys are worthless monkeys and we need to manage your future.
And when he talks about like Jesus and Muhammad, he
Yeah, but-
talks about them in like
Secular, like puts them off as just
a
the
person.
history. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's like, and this Jew named Jesus
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does
was
that on
a
purpose.
rebel. He was like, he's a rebel against
Yeah.
the Jews. And I'm like,
Not a rebel, a rabbi.
he kept saying rebel. He was calling them rebels, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like he would say that he's rebelling against. He said
Yeah,
Muhammad did it.
I know what you're
He's
saying.
Jesus did it. He's like they were rebelling against and they did. And that's what I was like, why did Mike pick this? This is like what Mike doesn't like.
Well,
And I was like,
you'll
all right, I
see
like
why,
it.
You'll see why, dude. What they have mapped out for our future is already, it's been in the works for 2 decades at the least. And
Easily.
it's
Have
all
you-
tied, it's all tied into technology. They want to track everything. That's why they changed their name, Facebook, to Meta.
Meta.
Because
Yeah, what does
they
that
want
mean?
They want you engulfed in this internet of things. So your whole life, you wake up, you're checking your phone, your activities are in your phone, in the internet of things. That's what they call it. So everything is online, basically. Your activities, your games, everything's held within the computer. They track everything. They know how you think, and that prevents you from going out into the world and consuming resources
Mhm.
and wanting to buy property and digging in on their
And have
the
to
world.
rely. And
Yeah.
have to rely on.
So if everybody,
On them.
if 9/10 of the world is in the internet of things, they're not out in the world consuming shit. They're, as long as they can figure out a way to get them power in a clean way,
Right.
they're not fucking up the world. So that's what they want. But they also can track everything you do. They got on the table, they have cryptocurrency rewards. If you do certain things, they can send you a cryptocurrency as like almost like a Pavlov's dog type.
I'm guilty of
You're guilty of-
participating in the cryptocurrency.
I mean, everybody's gonna buy some because it's so new, and if
I
you pick-
bought a lot.
If you pick the right one, you can wind up with a lot of money. But I think that's why they're allowing so many, because they want you involved.
You see, I highlighted this part, dude. I don't know if I can get it on camera here. It says
Yeah, why don't you read some of these?
the Doge. The Doge.
Oh yeah.
Which means Duke. I
The
didn't know
Duke.
that.
Yeah. And that's why I highlighted. I was like, I wonder if that has, but it's weird because it like he was in control of financial institutions and bankers
Yeah, that's
when
I'm
they
sure
bring up
that's
the
why they
Doge.
picked that. But
Isn't that strange?
And
if you look into these if you go into these cryptocurrency names, they all have some kind of esoteric meaning, like
I know.
E-
I just started to.
Ethereum.
What does Ethereum mean?
So ether is like, so back
The ether,
before
right,
the
right.
early 1900s, everybody believed there was this power around us, and they called it the ether.
The ether.
And it was-
Minecraft.
yeah, this energy that you couldn't really feel, but we all lived in the ether. Like our words have ether in it. Like together means clothed in ether. Togue means clothed, and ether is like the essence of the
That's
world, like ether.
Right.
So a lot of words have that in there. But before 1900s, everybody believed there's this power around us, this energy that you can move through, and you didn't disrupt it, but you actually sent waves and shit like that. But it has an esoteric meaning. Ethereum is everything
What about
around
Bitcoin?
us. I don't know Bitcoin. I haven't really decoded that one.
I think Bitcoin was created by Putin.
I don't know about Putin, but it definitely isn't Satoshi Nakamoto.
No, it's Putin, dude. I think it's Putin.
So
I
here's
do.
another thing.
I think
Here's
it's
another
Putin.
thing you could look up. 33 years ago, there was a economist cover where it talks about a global currency rising from the ashes of a burnt dollar. So if you look it up, it'll be a phoenix rising from the ashes, and it'll have almost looks like a cryptocurrency logo in its beak. And it's saying like there'll be a global currency that comes out of this economic bad times, and nobody will use the US dollar anymore.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but that's only a
Dude,
matter
they
of
plan
time,
this shit
right?
out far in advance.
Isn't that only a matter of time? Like when you think about it, like that's why I stopped kind of being so like worried about it. So I'm like, it's only a matter of time before America. And that's the point. That's why this book is like, it just kind of confirmed a lot of that though. It's like time makes things change, and
Yeah, but
the big guy up top, everybody's fighting for it.
These people think they should be who chooses what happens. And
I
it's
know.
not like it's not just like a natural progression. Like they're trying to force us into this shit.
The one thing
Are
I
they-
thought was interesting was like how long the like Jewish people have been either running or in charge of like banking, like throughout countries around the world.
At one point, they were the only ones that were allowed
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I was like.
because
crazy.
I forget where it was, but their religion,
Yeah. So
the Jewish religion was the only religion that allowed them to actually do it.
So the Jewish religion, there's no ban on charging interest, and the like in Christianity, you're supposed to help your brothers out, lend them money, but
Right.
you take back what you lent.
Yeah.
So it's banned to charge interest, but what they haven't brought up yet is that the first bankers were actually the Knights Templar, and
Okay.
they took in, which is an arm of the church.
Yeah.
They would take in everybody's possessions on their route to Jerusalem back in the day, and they give them a slip of paper and say, this is how much we took, so to protect them. And then they accommodated all this wealth that it actually strengthened them to the point where they became this force to be reckoned with. But the Templars are a huge part of history he hasn't even brought up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Bill, you highlighted a lot of shit. Let's go over some of that.
Bro, I highlighted the
Documentaries
whole
and stuff about
book.
them.
I highlighted the whole.
All right, Eddie, do you highlight
book.
anything?
Dude, I can't even find my book.
He's been
Jesus
listening to it.
Christ.
I've been listening to it like on the audio, so I brought it and I can't find it anywhere. I don't know if my kid hit it. You know, I cannot, dude. I looked everywhere. My wife looked everywhere. Like, cannot fucking find this stuff.
Yeah, I gotta tell you what I did. So I bought Eddie
Yeah,
the
well,
book.
if you listen to it, it's cool.
No, but I bought Eddie the book originally, right? And I had it sent to his address, but he didn't get it. So when I sent it to him, I didn't tell him I was sending it to him.
And it's I don't even know where the hell it is. It's some completely different door. I was like,
So you lost 2 books.
I didn't lose that one. Bill sent it to the wrong house.
No, dude, I checked the address. Everything is right, but I sent it, and then you want me to give the address I sent it to here?
Yeah.
I said after this conversation, you want me to give up your
I'm not gonna be
address?
here much longer.
Yeah, where are you moving to?
Probably coming down there.
You come down, Mike?
I would love to.
Dude, calm down, dude. But go get your wife, bro. I'll talk to her. Dude, but I sent the book to Eddie and I labeled it to and this is probably why I got lost, but I labeled it to a Lenny's boy toy.
Oh
So
my god.
yeah, so somebody got a package that said a Lenny's boy toy. So I got, not only did Eddie not get his book, but somebody's probably getting a divorce.
And then they open it up and it's a conspiracy theory book.
And he said, whoever opened it said, fuck this. And threw it back.
They tried to read it, dude, and they got past Homo sapiens incest and
Yeah.
cannibalism. Or like Lenny's boy toy. Who the hell you hanging out with?
So since this is your doing, Bill, you can pick the next book.
I'm gonna let Eddie pick. No, dude, I want you guys to pick because I like to read things that I'm not choosing. You know what I mean? Like I'd like to think outside the box, and the only way to really do that is to have you guys pick. I'm not saying the book, I'm just saying it was very difficult. It was a difficult read to do for the our first time doing it too, because
Yeah.
I know I started us off with a fucking crazy book. I'm sorry.
yeah, because like I highlighted a ton of stuff, dude, but like it wouldn't really make sense like if I just start reading this stuff because there's so much, bro. It's like every sentence. You know what I mean? Like there's so much information, dude. It was very, very, very.
Well, have your wife read it to you, and she can explain some of the more difficult topics and
The difficult words, dude.
words.
Yeah. At one point I was like, I got it on Audible too, so that I could because some of the words I was like, I can't even pronounce this. And I had to Google the word.
Now, for Audible, does that read it in like a real person's voice, or is it like an automated voice?
No, it's a real person.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
But
That's sick.
do you don't have Audible, dude?
Nah.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
it's
download it.
nice. I like it.
After I post this, use the link on my page and then download Audible.
What do you get, a kickback?
Yeah, dude, I download. So I did I didn't realize you could do this, but like if you go on there, you become an affiliate of certain things. So
That's
like
cool.
so I'm gonna do when we do these things, I'm gonna put it on there. It's not much, I don't think, dude, but why not? Why
Oh,
not
yeah.
throw a link on the page and
Yeah,
see what
definitely.
happens?
I mean, I like it. I drive a lot for work, so I'll listen to it while I'm driving. I've listened to the first couple chapters like 4 times in the past like couple days, just to try and like comprehend, because like there's so much going on that you missed something. So like I'll just keep playing it over and over again, and like every time I hear it, I hear something new.
Yeah.
Here's
I do the same thing because I travel a lot, so I'll listen.
listen
some
to them?
books. I'll
You
listen
listen
to
to
some
books?
books on LibriVox.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, am I interrupting?
No, you're good. I said,
Yeah.
do you listen to books?
Yeah, so there's a free website called LibriVox where it's real people reading it. And if you have a book and you're traveling, you can download the book like on your phone. So
Right.
like it doesn't matter if you have service or not. So when I fly, I'll listen to something, or if I'm driving, I'll plug it in because I used to travel every week. Now it's a lot less, but still travel a lot. And I crush like a book every time I'm on the road. And
Right.
it's nice like that.
Yeah, and I usually do a lot more because when I listen to it, but for doing something like this, I feel like I can't just listen to it. I had to like really get into it because I had to really talk a lot about that single book.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read the one line just to go
Do
with
it.
what you said here, right? And he says, and this was about the Judeo-Greek ideal, and he says these elites are neither peaceful nor liberal, for the market needs a powerful state to inaugurate and defend property rights.
Bam, right there.
That one sentence just kind of
That's his ideology right there.
just in that one sentence, like that's where you know that if he's
Scumbag.
using the past to predict the future. Well, when you're
And
explaining
us
that it's needed,
Ugh.
and elites are needed.
Us
what do you
three
think
normal guys can read through that. I mean, come on, people, read some books.
Are we normal though?
I mean, I think we're far from normal,
I
but
don't think we're
Yeah.
normal, dude. I mean, I'm not. Is that a White Claw, dude?
I've drank 3 of them.
Dude, you are You're weak, bro.
Wait, can sober people make fun of drunk people? I don't know.
I can when you're drinking White Claw,
I can.
dude.
I got nothing left. I got my fridge.
When you're
is
drinking your wife's drinks, dude, I can make fun of you.
It's all good.
Just be a man, dude. Whiskey on the rocks.
I don't have anything except these 3 White Claws in my entire house. So
My
that's why-
bad, dude. Is that why you wanted to keep it to an hour?
No, I have to keep it to an hour because my kids get like crazy at bedtime, and my wife's like, "Fuck
Yeah,
that
yelling at
podcast."
you. Well, because I kept you on forever, dude. The last
So
time was
Eddie,
terrible.
last
dude.
time we had some technical difficulties, and I went
Terrible,
on at
dude.
6, and we didn't start talking till like 8.
Oh
and,
shit.
Yeah, and so like plus
the
an
internet
hour,
here,
it was.
It's tough, man, because I really do. Like, I really want to do
It's
this
not his
live.
fault, but
No, it is my fault. It's 100% my fault. I am not technical savvy, dude. You should see all these wires around me right now. I can hardly move because I'm
not either,
afraid to
bro. I'm not
move.
either.
And it's, I feel like I got it. And then I go to do it and it just doesn't work. And then I'm already in the moment and now I'm panicking because I'm with the person. So then it takes me even longer than it probably would have to. That's why this time I'm like, I'm doing Zoom, I'm hitting record, and then I'm going to take the video and edit it in my editor. But
So-
what I want to do is I really would way prefer, because that takes time to go through it, edit it, and post it.
You
I
need
would like to
order,
just get it live, dude. Just go live.
sure.
go on Amazon, order some like cable management, like they're like ties.
Yeah, dude, that's it. I did. I have them, and I need to do that. But my issue was the internet. Honestly,
Yeah.
like my internet here is garbage, and it's the most like powerful internet that they offer. And it's right on the other side of this wall. If you notice, I went from that wall to this wall just to get closer to the Wi-Fi thing.
My buddy doesn't live far from you. He does the same job as me, and he has to pay a fortune in internet because it all sucks where you live.
Yeah, it's
Really?
terrible, dude. It's terrible, and it's not that I pay. So I don't have cable or anything. I just have the internet, and then I have the apps and stuff.
Yeah,
And
me
that
too.
stuff works fine, dude. But when I'm doing something like this, it takes a lot more of the, because I have to do Zoom, and then on Zoom I have the platform where I'm streaming from, so I have to take our Zoom videos and put it onto that, and then YouTube will have to start running because now I'm live on YouTube. So like
Well, right now
I
you
need
look
to-
crystal clear.
yeah, I'm a beast, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, crystal clear. We can see everything, every
Good,
hair
dude.
on that beard.
You can't see every hair, dude. There's a lot of hairs here. That'll take a while.
You used to shave your forehead, right? I'm pretty sure, right?
Nah, dude, that's a lie. I shave like up here.
That's
I
what I'm
was like-
talking about.
That's not my forehead, dude. That's just big eyebrows. I'm actually losing it,
your
dude.
your beard, your sideburns, like, and your eyebrows, they all connect.
They
Yeah,
used
this-
to connect. I
These
swear.
connect. No,
Yeah.
these will connect. So this will connect to the beard. I don't know, dude. I'm a Neanderthal. My ancestors definitely were eating my ancestors, and probably lots of incest back when they were just Homo sapiens. From what I've just read from this dude.
The only thing he's missing is like that big brow.
The Cro-Magnon brow.
I take care of it. I take care of the eyebrows as much as I
It's a
can.
bone. It's a bone right here.
Yeah.
Cro-Magnon brow.
Dude, if you grew your beard out, you'd be a hairy dude.
Oh, I am a hairy dude for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I can see it. Your eyebrows look like you went and got them plucked. Do you go
Oh,
get your
really?
eyebrows done, dude?
Never. So this
remember-
is a scar. This is a scar right here.
He gets it. He gets his eyebrows done, dude.
Mike had a 5 o'clock shadow like when we were young as shit.
Yeah. What are you talking about, bro?
Dude,
Grow it out.
I remember being in like 6th grade, and I won't say his name, but we were playing basketball, and he's like, "Dude, you got a happy trail? What the hell?"
Yeah, dude. My grade school had to change the rules for shaving. I was like 5th grade. They're like, you can't be coming in with a mustache, kid. You're
they signed
nine.
up. They signed a bill for Moses in the sport play.
I was baby Jesus. I was baby Jesus. You know, when St. Anselm's did that thing,
Yeah. The
Yeah, my
live
mom-
nativity out front.
my mom and dad were Mary and Joseph, and I was baby Jesus.
No
Did you
shit.
go to St. Anselm's?
I went for like a year, and then I went to PAX.
Yeah, I didn't.
But then I had to do CCD,
Yeah, right.
and I did CCD up until I think 6th grade or whenever you got to get the The confirmation, whatever grade that is.
Yeah, 6.
6th grade.
Mm.
Yeah. Do kids do that anymore?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
CCD. Do they?
Yes.
I wouldn't send my kids to
I wouldn't
CCD.
doubt it.
I wouldn't do it. I don't like Catholicism.
Bro, when you start researching organized religions, man, there's so much.
It's a
corruption.
cult. What's the
Yeah.
difference between a cult and a religion?
There's so many. I mean, you got to find what you think is true on your own.
What about your religion? What about your weird ass religion?
Are we going there again for the third straight month?
I love your religion,
Tic
dude.
tac toe, 3 in a row.
You ain't getting to heaven.
What?
There's too many people up there already. It's all clogged. Don't only 1,000 people get to go to heaven or something
I
like
don't
that?
know where you're getting these numbers from. but
How many people? How many people get to go to heaven?
I think it's 144,000.
Yeah, you're fucked, dude. There's been way.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that means the rest of us are supposed to. This isn't my religion, but this is what they believe. They believe the rest of us live on Earth like God intended, like Adam and Eve that live on Earth, and God comes down and vanquishes all these assholes. That's what they believe.
So then, what do we do on?
Is
when
it
we
is
die?
this the Jehovah?
Yeah, so
It's an interesting religion. I've read some things.
That's
and,
why I
like,
always ask them
it's
about
very,
it.
it is interesting. I like reading like history and like religions and stuff like that. So I've read a lot about a lot of different religions,
sure.
and it's very interesting on like their beliefs and like their views on some things.
So yeah, they basically they take the Bible for almost verse for verse, very literal.
Yeah,
And they believe like the way God intended Adam and Eve to live is
Mhm.
where the majority of mankind will live
right.
after Revelation, Armageddon comes
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he gets rid of Satan. So the 144,000 are people that are going to help him rule, is what they believe. And that's a biblical number. They take it out of the Bible. So they believe like God intended Adam and Eve and the rest of the creation to live on the earth.
Yeah,
He didn't intend for Adam and Eve to die and come to heaven. So
right.
they believe all these people that are worthy will get to inherit the earth and he'll create it back into a paradise.
Yeah.
So that's how Bill out over there. I can see him scratching his ass
In my bathing suit.
in his bathing suit.
I love these shorts. These are my
Bill's
favorite
over
shorts.
here doing a hot tub stream.
Dude, I wish, dude, that'd be pretty cool. If I had a hot tub to sit here and stream in. Let me see if I can see anything else real quick that I like. What else did you guys like out of the? Is there anything
We
else
probably
specifically?
should have did it for 5 chapters because we could have just moved past these first 2 pretty quick.
Yeah, but I wanted to. The only reason I wanted
it's
to
a
do the
lot of
first
shit.
2.
It's a lot.
It is. It is.
And the other thing is we just started, so I just wanted to gauge where everybody was with reading, because I mean I read this twice and listened to it once, so I could have definitely probably finished it. And that's what the other thing I wanted to talk to you is how often do you just want to continue this, and for like how often do you want to do it, and how much should we be kind of reading it ahead of time? Because 2 weeks, dude, like I can read a lot more than 100 pages in 2 weeks.
Why don't we do it every other week and we crush, I don't know, a few chapters, more than 2.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Because every other week, that gives you plenty of time to read. What do you want to do? Like
I wanted to
5 chapters?
finish. Yeah, I want to finish this book.
Let's
I think
do
we
5 chapters every other week.
What's this chapter? How many chapters are in this thing? Isn't there
I don't
only like
know.
4?
Oh, I'll tell you right now.
There's only 5 in this.
There's only 5 total.
Yeah.
Okay.
first-
so,
Well, I said we finished this book.
yeah,
and
we'll knock
we're-
the book out, and then in 2 weeks we'll come back and
and
jump
do the
back in.
rest. And that's what I think we should continue to do, like half and half the book every 2
Yeah,
weeks.
like on the audio, like for some reason, like there's
There's more though.
8.
There's more on the.
Because they have
there's-
sub chapters in there for the audio.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, well, the audio like chapter it doesn't.
Chapter
Chapter
1
one
is
is
just
like
like
the
the
forward.
intro.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a little different. So I say we just knock out the book. There's 6 chapters actually.
We could easily knock out the book before the next call.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
If we're going 2 weeks, dude, I think that's how we should do it. Because these first 2 were not very thought provoking. I think the only questions I had were we already addressed in the beginning.
Yeah. But it was fun to get this intro going. I haven't seen Eddie
Yeah.
in like 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a long
Yeah.
time.
I want to get, and Corey, if you're listening, dude, I want Corey to come on. I already talked about how
He could call in. You can put your
That's what
phone
I
on
should-
speaker.
I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, if he can get on. And
He's probably afraid of people seeing his goofy face on the internet.
yeah.
Oh, and then in the thumbnail you could just put Carson Wentz.
Picture.
No, like just like put like the name, so then like people will just start
Yeah.
hitting it, thinking that.
thinking it's him.
Yeah.
YouTube
got
still
Edward.
won't get it up. YouTube will still
Dude, it's not.
got-
And everybody
It's
always
on my
asks me that.
face.
Like I had the president or dude that was running for on North Penn, and he would
Yeah,
like
yeah.
text me, how many views we got? I'm like, dude, I don't care how many views we got.
Yeah, but how many views you get for him? Because we ain't got any.
I mean, yours got up almost to 100. His went over 100, 150, I think that we got with him. I mean, up until yours that I did with you at the
I know, I saw
9/11
the old
thing,
views.
they were all 400. They were all like
Yeah.
400 views, and then you went. It was
Well,
like
we talked
10,
about 9/11, bro.
I know,
We talked about
I know.
9/11.
and then we had. I got 10 views, and then from there I couldn't get anything. Like I even posted a video of just like this a song with pictures of like my dad and
Sure,
you know,
sure.
about his death. Nobody got to see it because YouTube was just like, we ain't sharing your shit. So I'm
Yeah.
like, there's no way people
You got to
didn't-
distance yourself from me, bro.
dude. I really don't care about, like, I'm not lying when I say I don't really care about the views. I think naturally, if people want to hear, if this is something that people need to hear or want to hear, it'll get to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Dude, you've got to put this book title in the title of your video because people search this shit. I'm telling you.
Oh no, it will be. It's
Yeah,
gonna
so-
be, the title's gonna be in there. It'll have on the video. I'll have like the book. I have, this is the first time I'm doing a Zoom thing where I'm recording and then uploading. So we'll see what the video looks like. I hope it all takes, dude, because last one with you, the audio was all, jacked up. But I
know.
saved this to
I
the
got like
Zoom.
10 notifications from you about me, and they were like 30 seconds each.
That was from when, because the internet, and that's why I didn't want to do this live, because I didn't feel like trying to piece it all together.
And you don't
like
need
even
to do
yours.
this live. You don't need to. It's a book club thing. You don't need to do it live.
No, yeah, I know. I would just rather do it because it's easier for me.
Yeah, right.
Because it takes a while to upload, and then it's just more time that I need
sure.
to be spending on it. When if I did this live and there are people following that don't want to participate like this, I can have a chat
Sure.
too. So then people can ask questions,
Did
which
you
I think
get,
would be more engaging.
Did you get the Colt lady?
Yeah. what's up with
No,
that?
she's gonna be coming on, dude. She's gonna be coming on. Kristen sees her all the time, and she's basically said whenever I'm ready. So I might hit her up after Thanksgiving and get her on here, dude. It's insane.
Do it in between
Yeah,
our
yeah,
next
next-
one.
I'll
do
try
it
to do
next
it next week.
Yeah.
You're right, dude. I want to get her on. It's so interesting.
I know. I've been wanting to see that video.
Yeah, I've only looked up a little bit about the cult so that I could have some questions, but I'm
Right.
trying to.
Well, try not to laugh at her like you laugh at me. So
Oh, dude, you're different, dude. I can laugh at you. I wouldn't laugh at her because you can, when I talk to her, bro, like you can see the pain.
Yeah.
Like you can see that she's been through something. And it was so, when we were talking to her, me and Kristen, one of the things that she said were kind of like mind blowing, because she was like talking about like her suffering and stuff, and how people will be like, oh my God, I can't believe you went through that. I'm so sorry. And she's just like, well, no, it's my suffering is no different than your worst suffering. It's suffering, and it's your worst than my worst. And I was like, damn, that's a perspective that like to go through something like that. And then to still have that perspective, that's a strong person.
Yeah, you got to get her on.
Yeah, dude, she's really cool, and she's very outspoken. And when I asked her to come on, we were already talking about it, and I was like, look, I don't know how open you are to, talking about this, but I would love to have you on, my podcast. And she was like, I've been thinking about trying to get my story out there in case, it falls into somebody's hands that, may be in a similar situation. Because you don't know, dude, right? Like you don't know you're part of something like that. It's even with anything religions, like you are that until you, like you said, start researching that there's different, that it's not like your life isn't in a box because you are as a kid, especially like you're put in a box.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is your religion. This is what you are.
Oh yeah, yeah. But
You know?
my wife's grandfather's family was in like a religious cult. It was called Faith Tabernacle,
Faith Tabernacle. I never heard of that one.
and it's like one of them big like evangelistic mega church type things. Like, and like some like the family like stories that I've heard are fucking insane.
Yeah, dude. It's so weird.
Fucking insane. And
Yeah,
like
but-
they were similar to like the Jehovah's Witness, where they didn't believe in like blood transfusions and like going to like doctors and stuff like that. Like you fucking figured it out on your own or you die type shit. Like,
We believe in doctors. They don't believe
Like-
in blood transfusion.
yeah, like blood transfusions and stuff like that. Like, so like they were similar in like those aspects. And like some like the stories were just incredible.
Wait. So building on that,
We believe in
wait, let me hop
doctors.
in. Building on that, what drives me nuts, and I don't know how I can say this without getting us blocked, but
We're already blocked.
what drives me nuts is my whole life they've been preaching about Revelation, the Great Tribulation, God coming and
Right.
and vanquishing the devil, basically, to
Yeah.
summarize it, and talking about kind of what's going on right now. And right now, they're not allowed to go out and preaching. They have to
Right.
write letters. They're not allowed to go out because of the big bad coronavirus.
Right.
And that kind of just proves to me that whoever's leading their church is no better than anyone else leading any of the other churches, because nobody else is out like this. If this is not a sign of some shit's coming, then I don't know what is.
Right.
It drives me nuts that they're not out like knocking on doors like they used to. Like,
You should be coming back out, dude.
yeah, like this is the
You should
time.
go-
This is your time. This
You-
is your
Right.
time.
You know
This is
people
your
are
time,
home.
Mike. You need to start knocking on doors.
Like you
just-
guys are inside, not allowed to preach. You've been preaching my whole life, and now you're shutting it down. Now
You made me knock on all these doors.
so
just to
it's just
stop
like
doing
crazy time.
How many doors have you knocked on?
Well, I was a kid. As a kid, you're like, especially a kid like me, where I had a million friends that weren't in my religion. And I like hated it. So I like would fake knock and like pretend like I hated it.
Did you go with your brother?
I mean, sometimes, yeah. Like they wouldn't put us together because we'd be hiding somewhere, not doing something. Like,
I just can't picture you knocking on my door, dude.
well, and it's funny, like as a kid, like what could a kid knock on your door and be able to preach actual feelings inside about religion? Like
They
Right.
can't.
you could parrot things you learn, but like it's not until you're like in your 20s and 30s that you actually
Can start to
understand
conceptualize it.
spirituality
Yeah.
and actually add the dots up together. Like
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
as
to
a
take the
kid,
Bible into it, like Jesus didn't start preaching until he was 30. So like, I mean, it's
As a kid, you're just knocking and handed a pamphlet. Like
at the very, we're standing next to someone else who's doing all the work. Like,
Yeah.
But it gets a feeling from an adult though, as like, oh, look at this kid. Like, look how like he comes back to even the global warming stuff with that chick. What's the
my
girl's
God.
name?
Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
That-
even
that
before
chick is-
her, they still had
first of
more
all-
of them.
Yeah, that chick is full of shit. So she did that cruise across the ocean. There's like 12 boats burning fossil fuel, watching her sail
Her
her
do it.
energy efficient little
Yeah, I know.
craft.
It's
Full
insane.
of shit. Her parents are both rich aristocrats. It's all bullshit.
But
But
it's
yeah, go ahead.
it's the same thing. It's like
mean,
you're
they-
using
so-
a child. You're using a child to promote.
Well, they
Poor
don't.
thing.
That's another thing. They don't really force anyone to do anything. Like you can leave whenever you want. I still talk to everybody. Like
Yeah, but they're watching you.
I don't think so. I don't think they give a shit.
I'm just kidding, dude.
No, like they don't care. Like they want you to be a part of it. But like as a cult, you're not like you can leave whenever you want. You don't have to do anything if you don't agree with it. then don't be a part of it. But as a kid, like they try to show you what they think is right.
Right.
And
There's nothing wrong with that a lot of times too. I think it's necessary. I think
and it all
religion's
comes down to
necessary.
parenting. Like if your parents are
100%.
overbearing, then
100%. 100%. And I think honestly today, like when just even like reading this book too, it's like a lot of times, and you know, I was very involved with what North Penn was doing at the school board. And at the same time, it's like maybe the effort that we're putting into, and this was talking to my cousin about. I was like, you guys should do something different. Like the election stuff's over, dude. Like I'm done investing. Like I can't do it. I can't invest my time. I don't live there anymore, dude. But I did the part that I thought I was, you know, could stand up for. I didn't have kids there anymore to that they could, you know, have have repercussions for against my kids. So I was like, I'll still stand up. The election happened. It's over. And I was like, you guys got to do something different. Like go in there and yelling and like, you just got to do something different. And like, maybe all that energy that we've been putting into what the school board's doing, maybe that energy should be invested in our kids. Like take it away from that, put it into your kids, stop giving them that power. Because when you're doing that, you're ultimately giving them power. Even though you're fighting against it at that school board, you're empowering the hell out of them.
And they make you look like the crazy one.
And then they make you look nuts.
They make them look like the righteous ones that
right.
This crazy sexual book in the library should be there because look at Bill acting crazy.
Exactly. And that's the other issue, man. A lot of these, because I was the same way in the beginning, dude. It was an emotional thing. It was more, I got up there. Like if I got up there, if I went to talk, I never went to one because I moved away before that. But like you almost get so emotional that you forget that what you're about to talk about, and then you just get angry, and it just comes out in anger instead of focusing on, you know, staying calm and just, you know, getting your point across. You just like want to beat somebody up.
Don't mean shit.
They mean nothing, dude.
I've watched 1,000 of them, and it's just to appease the mob. Like they are making their own decisions up after you leave those buildings.
And that's what I was telling my cousin. Like, you guys got to like come together and figure something different. Do something different, because if you keep doing this, obviously it didn't work, right? Like they got voted in somehow with a crazy amount of extra votes, and it didn't work. It didn't work. So like figure something else out, you know? And I was like, I'll talk to you guys about it if you want, you know, some suggestions on maybe something different, but I can't be investing that kind of time. And that's why I got off Twitter. That's all I use Twitter for. Was that I would just go after, I would just, everything they would say, I'd just like point out the hypocrisies. That's it. That's all I use Twitter for. And I was like, dude, this is consuming my brain. Why am I doing this?
You're better off, bro. You're better off.
Way better, dude. I'm so much happier. Dude, just being down here. You got to move down here, Mike. Go get your wife real quick before she starts yelling at you. Let me talk to her, dude. I'm telling you, it's a different world. Like a lot of this stuff is like gone. Come and gone. Like I started to see a good world. I stopped seeing all this evil. I really did, man.
Good, man, that's good.
That's where you need to be.
I mean, if I'm moving south, I mean, there's still crazy people where you live. I mean,
I know, dude. I know, but I can. You know what it is, man. You know what I think it is. I was able to like recreate myself almost, right? Like there were so many attachments in Philadelphia. I was already, and I was attached. There's no way to, it wasn't like I was running from anything. I wasn't running from myself anymore. I was happy with me. I came to grips with me. I was okay with me. So it wasn't like I was running from me anymore. Right. So I found me, and then I was able to detach myself from everything else that I've attached myself to, that I felt obligated to take care of for all the years living up there. And when I come here, it just all went away. It's like, I don't have those attachments anymore. Now I talk to people that like I choose my attachments as an adult, and it's different.
That's
right.
Awesome,
like,
man.
You know what I mean? Like you reach out, Eddie, like people that reach out to me and want to talk, and my cousins, my family, like people that don't reach out to me anymore because I can't do anything for them.
Yeah, you don't have to force any relationships anymore.
Nah, dude, I get to pick it. I get to pick what I like to do. I let my kids choose things they want to do. It's not like I'm stuck to these things that have meaning anymore. I get to go out as an adult and find my own meaning and purpose and live it out. You know, like it's the truth. It's hard to do that when you grow up with all those attachments.
Yeah.
It really is. And I don't know, like, dude, I'm part of like this. I did on Mondays. I'm part of like a another book club. It's
Damn,
like
you cheating on us?
I was cheating, dude. There are 13 guys. It's just 13 dudes. They're all Christian though, so it's like a Christian thing. I'm the only one that's like not a part of like a Christian. I'm Catholic, I guess. I don't know what I am, but it was so cool, dude, because I got to talk my crazy talk with all these other people, and I was like, dude, this is the first time I'm ever able to talk like this without everybody walking away.
What do they say?
No, so we're reading, C.S. Lewis.
Yeah.
So they're reading a C.S. Lewis book, and they're talking about, C.S. Lewis, and they were talking about like pride and, how you shouldn't have pride in like earthly things. And I was like, Pete, dude, if I talk about this with anybody else, they want to walk away. But it's funny to me because I was never, when I started researching this stuff, it was more from a philosophy standpoint, rather a religious. And it's crazy how like it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like philosophers and the Bible.
Sure.
It's no different. It's all like the book he handed me. It was so he's like the new book that they're about to read. He gave it to me and he says, I don't know if this is more like of an allegory or metaphorical. And I was like, allegory. My wife makes fun of me. I use that fucking word all the time. I'd never heard anybody else use that word.
What book are you reading?
The
Lion,
C.S.
the
Lewis
Witch,
is.
he wrote like a bunch of like Narnia and shit, right?
So he was and I got in. I didn't read the book because I literally so my boss is the one that runs it in our office after work. So I didn't actually read the book. He's like, you should stay for this, and I just stayed. So I didn't get to actually read the book, but it's the one that they're reading is C.S. Lewis, Mere Christianity.
Yeah. I think that's one of his big books, but
yeah. And
I'm pretty sure he wrote like
the next one is like divorce. I don't have it right here. I didn't start reading it though. Something about divorce. Yeah. But I think it's about hell.
How the book is.
It's about hell.
That's about hell.
It's about hell. Like, yeah, like
now you guys are really hating me. I just read this summer. I listened to some of it, but Dante's Inferno. I mean, as many pages as the Bible, if not more. Like it's huge.
Yeah,
and it's very deep. And
is it deep?
Oh yeah, it covers like the levels of hell and shit.
7 levels of
crazy.
hell. Is
Nice.
nuts.
Why would we hate you for that?
Because it's this big, dude. The book
Oh, it's
is
fucking
this big.
huge.
Yeah.
Oh, what if you said, let's read this?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get there, dude. We'll get there. The biggest book that I've read recently is the Jordan Peterson Maps of Meaning. That's a big book.
That one.
That's his first one. It's a good one. He basically takes a lot of he just takes things and gives them like a deeper meaning to things that we've seen, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But dude, this book, like I said, you think you're like sorry and stuff. It was just like when I was reading, I was like, how the hell, where are we going with this conversation? Because it's just facts. Statistics.
I enjoyed it though. Like
that's where I just came up with those questions. Like I did. Like, did you guys think of any like other questions that, like reading the first 2 chapters where you're like, all right.
I knew what he was doing. I know he doesn't even believe it. I know he's building a foundation to say we're a bunch of dumb monkeys and this is why we need to do what we need to do, because you're going to ruin the world if we don't. That's the summary of those 2 chapters. In my opinion.
I forget what book Kristen was talking about, but wanted to follow something like this. She was telling me that there's a book out there from so Jeffrey Epstein had somebody that was really close with him on Trump's. It was like somebody part of Trump's administration, like a lawyer or something. I forget.
Giuliani?
The Jewish guy.
No.
So he's friends with the guy we're reading this book about. What the heck's his name?
So he's friends with him too?
Yes.
Okay, so this guy, whoever was under Trump wrote about how the elites are all pedophiles and stuff, but he's part of
the group
that he wrote a book about. And he's like writing books and saying, here you go, guys, here's what we're doing.
That's
we know
what
you
this
just don't
is.
read.
That's
right.
what this is.
That's what I was thinking too. That's where we got on that. I was like, that'd be a good book to like, kind of follow up with this if
Eddie's picking the next book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta let Eddie pick, dude, because I want to see what he pulls out. Do you so this book was published in 2006.
I believe so, yeah.
So do you think that like we're gonna see some of what's happening now in here? I don't know if you
1,000%. I think it's happening right now. Like they are taking this and turning it in this direction. So that's why I picked this book.
to see like
Yeah.
to see
One,
right.
one world government and things like that.
I think that's where I was kind of curious too. I was like, are they going to come out with like, is he, because it's not like it was just written. So like, we don't have to
Right.
wait. It has like, I want to see if it had some, things in here that, he did get right. But doesn't he give like two different points of view?
We'll have to see.
That's what in the beginning, that's what he says, right? Like he says hyper inflation, not hyperinflation.
I mean, you're seeing,
Hyper-democracy-
you're seeing hyperinflation right now. I mean,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
printing
Hyper-
trillions of dollars.
An era called hyper democracy.
Yeah, that doesn't mean. Where do you get the two?
Hyper
perspectives?
conflict. So he calls the era of hyper conflict and then hyper democracy. And then here we go. And then they will prefer freedom of action, responsibility, and access to knowledge. They will usher in the birth of a universal intelligence, making a common property of creative capacities of all human beings in order to transcend them.
So he's talking about a hive mind with the Internet of Things. So it's almost like a transhuman thing. Like everybody's access to the same knowledge type, like futuristic mind there.
A new synchronized economy providing free services will develop a competition with a market before eliminating it. Exactly as the market put an end to feudalism a few centuries ago. I don't know, man. It's so crazy. The financial instability of capitalism culminating in increasingly dangerous financial bubbles that have or soon will become global, climate issues, and the fragility of communism, terroristic threats, and arrival of nomadic forces, which I shall explain and elaborate on later. What would you say the nomadic forces are?
I mean, I'm not sure.
Is it you, dude?
I wish. I mean, I wish this guy was worried about me.
And the major role of art, particularly of music, in fostering global diversity. Everything's global, dude. That's the one thing I did notice. Everything, like
That's
even
what
in
the United
education,
Nations is all about.
everything. They just keep saying like the global this, the global that. They've been
That's
saying
what
it for
they hate.
years.
They hate America, how we all love a country. We think it's the best country in the world. They want to break that down. So that if you're going to see them trying to do it, we're patriotic people by nature because of our history, and they don't like that.
Here we go. I like this kind of sums it up too here, right? And finally, since every prediction is first and foremost a meditation on the present, this essay is also a political work. I hope you're able to use it to your best advantage at a time when so many choices are looming.
You know what I call this book? It's called predictive programming. So they throw this out there and then they make it happen, and they help manipulate people in their direction by putting stuff out like this.
So you think that they put this out to, like, but who reads?
The
Like the
other
no-
aristocrats like them,
Right. They're the ones that are going to read it and they
And
know, right?
they
But
like what's
like
coming.
you and I, like the other people that are out there, like normal people, aren't reading anymore.
I agree. Whereas the rest of our country is asleep watching football games every other
Right.
day, and they don't care.
Yeah, and they call me crazy.
Yeah.
I love
Or
being called crazy.
schizophrenic or crazy, or like
Well, I haven't been called schizophrenic. That's you.
you're a conspiracy theorist. Like
My
no.
wife may have called me schizophrenic, but
Yeah.
because I go deeper with her. She's like my practice round, you know?
Yeah.
I
Hell yeah.
I start with her and then she grounds me.
Get a babysitter and put her on the thing.
Dude,
Put her on.
I try, but she likes to drink those White Claws when we do it, and then
Yeah.
by the end, she's just fucking trashed and jumped. She's like,
And
don't put that up there.
we'll get so many more views.
We probably will, dude. We definitely would. We definitely would. I'll have to get her on. How about we'll set the next one up with just our wives, and we'll watch we'll watch the kids.
That would be funny. Eddie, are you married?
Yeah.
Nice. All right,
Never
yeah.
met-
You never met a Lenny?
I did not.
Oh,
I haven't
dude.
seen Eddie in 10 years, probably.
Yeah, it's been mad long. Yeah,
Really?
we've been married for 4 years.
Congrats, buddy.
Lenny's the
Yeah,
shit, dude.
February will be 5 years.
Congrats.
Lenny keeps Eddie grounded too.
Yeah, yeah.
They all do. I mean, where would we be without our women?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, exactly.
No, there's no.
I'm the same way. The same way.
If it wasn't for her, I'd be done. I'd
Yeah.
be schizophrenic somewhere on meth out with on K&A probably.
Yeah, probably with me.
That's all I would have. I won't have nothing. But hey, all right, guys, let's I'll let you guys go.
All right, man.
Unless you have anything else to say here. This was a tough one though to really get into.
I enjoyed
next,
it.
yeah, I think next week or in 2 weeks we'll follow up with it. I think that one will have a more thought-provoking,
Hell yeah.
background to it.
Eddie,
I
take
know-
notes. Eddie,
I
take
know,
notes.
I know. That's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna listen to it and take notes. I know, you've read it, but like, I'm excited to see where it goes. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, it's gonna be interesting.
Yep.
It is, dude, and I think it'll be more thought-provoking because it's a prediction, so it's more of like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
thought. Even though they're writing, what Mike's saying is that they're basically
Yeah,
writing.
you don't have to have my view. That's my
Right.
No, I know that.
conspiracy theorist view.
But
of it.
that's why I'm saying that it's thought provoking, because you're able to come up with things like that. When you look at what we've read already, it's very hard to. It's not very thought provoking
No.
unless you like. I really had to sit down and like think like what questions are coming out of this, and that's where I came up with, why he did this, how did he do it, what was the motive for it.
Right.
And now that we're getting into the next one, I think it'll come to light whether or not he researched this stuff before. And that's, I think it'll come out that he didn't do it before, but, we'll see. We'll see where the book takes us.
I'll just
And-
end with this. I think whether it's the news or social media posts, everybody needs to ask, why are they presenting me with this information? What is their aim to show me this? Because everybody has an agenda and they're using facts or history or titles of their news articles to manipulate you. So what are they showing me this for? And that's how I read things. Like, what is their angle? And when you figure out their angle, it gives you like kind of a perspective of the rest of whatever it is.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Do you have anything to finish up with here?
No, man. I'm just excited to figure out like where he's going, and it's gonna be interesting, and I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Yes, sir. So again, if anybody watches this hour and a half, gets this far, it's a brief history of the future. There'll be a link and everything in the comment section. Feel free to pick it up. There's no doubt in my mind you'll be able to finish something like this in 2 weeks from beginning to end. But we'll be finishing it. We'll go over everything. In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
see you guys.
I appreciate it,
Mark.
boys.
Good
Yo,
seeing
Mike,
you.
send that stuff in the group message.
I will.
Anyone has
I
reason.
will.
All right, brother. Have a good night, guys.
Bye,
You
bud.
too.